It's me. I'm Jennifer. It has been a while since Wait, has it been a while?
No, we recorded last week.
Okay, it's been a week. It's been a week since I've been here to talk. We started the Sweet Fantasy series, and I absolutely am excited to move forward in that even the further. Today's topic is I'm all right, I'm fine. Um, just one of the many lies, one of the fantasies that we uh go along with to Regina came anyway. Anyway, one of the things that we tell ourselves, and sometimes it certainly is a lie. So let us talk about it. Love having my own space here. Let me bring my brother up, my accountability partner, I guess you can call him. The one that makes sure that I'm doing my stuff, the one that is making sure that I'm staying true to myself in my stuff. My brother, Jojo Speaks, aka Mr. Jonathan. Hello.
Yes, I'm present. Absolutely. I'm here.
And accounted for. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
So right now I'm just trying to find my live so I can see because I don't know if you realize, unfortunately, sometimes my oh
Uh-oh.
sometimes it don't be showing my comments on this thing here. So
Right,
uh,
right.
anywho, so I'm gonna make sure I catch all comments if whatever. Anywho, Jesus, we got we got comments already. Yay. From myself.
Yes.
Hey Regina.
Hey, Regina.
Oh golly. Hey again, Jonathan. Jonathan is so busy. He is so wanted. He is so needed. Um and the light of the Leo says, thanks for joining us.
I like that.
I am I am. That's me, aka my husband speaking through me. Because I'm speaking to you with my voice right now. I'm sure you guys realize that.
Right.
Anywho, let's
And I'm glad you clarified that it's Tyrone typing because they might have thought you might have been using your hands to type that thing.
absolutely not. One great thing to know me, to know Jennifer, is to know that I cannot talk and type at the same time. It's
I
not
can't either. Not at all. And I still had a good AHG.
okay.
Okay.
I'll show it, man, because it's like I can kind of halfway listen and type, so that's why it worked. But
The
as
thing is, like, I
a
have to concentrate while I'm typing because I'm like my brain can't tell my fingers what to say if I'm talking. Like that.
absolutely not.
That just ain't gonna happen.
Unless it's saying something that's been rehearsed over and over and over and over, like the last part, like the ending of a script or something like that. But moving forward, I don't know why we're still talking about that. Moving forward, so I'm all right. I'm fine. One of the hugest lies that we like to say, um, the first thing I heard in my brain is like, why do we do that? Why do we do that to ourselves? And it's like we have grown to, hmm, whether it be in our family and church, in our friend groups, we've grown to try to ignore the issue, or the issue may be too deep for other people to sit and listen to it, or maybe we don't want to tell our business, or it's too difficult to talk about, or we just don't want anybody to understand that there's something simmering under the surface. And I am getting to the space where I am making sure to tell my truth. If I'm not all right and somebody that cares for me asks me how are you doing, it's like, it could be better. Just
Right.
basically telling my truth in that space and time. Jonathan, like, why do you think that's like our first thing to say? I'm all right, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm good.
Because that's just the answer that we want to hear if we ask someone else. I think that's typically why I would say it, because you don't, and plus you don't want people to worry about you. Some people would go as far as to saying, I'm not a charity case, so I don't want you to feel like you have to do
Mm.
something for me, or you have to help me out. Some people will refuse help. So I always want to be seen in the best light at all times. And, I would probably be one of those ones to say, yeah, I'm good, but knowing deep down inside, I'm not good. But that's probably because I don't want to get into it with you as to why I'm not good. I don't have the time to do that, or you're not close enough to me for me to be able to open up to you to tell you what it is that's going on with me. So it's a lot of different reasons why people do that.
Oh my. If you are here with us and in the chat, can you please let us know, why do you say you're all right if that's something that you do? Why do you say that you're fine when you know for sure that you're not? That is it at this point, it's really starting to feel like a reflex. "How you doing?" "I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah.
How are you?" That's just the answer that you say when somebody says, "How are you doing?"
But to just think about it. When you ask people, I'm sure we ask people almost every day when we interact with people, how are they doing? How
Mhm.
often is it that you hear something other than I'm good or I'm fine?
It's that's hard, that's a hard never, like, you don't hear that. But I can say for myself, what I have made sure to do is be truthful.
Hmm.
Now if I am talking to somebody that, like, I don't know, that's just being nice and say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, it could be better." Just
Right.
things like that. There are so many different ways that we can show a true face, yet still keep it light.
Yeah.
And that's what and of course, that's the easy way to say, you're like, "I'm alright," but it's like, "I'm not alright, but whatever."
Right.
Regina
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and some of us feel like we don't want to visit our issues on others. So, so I know, Jennifer, if you ask me how I'm doing, and I say, girl, I'm not doing well, I know that you're going to ask that follow-up question. Well, what's wrong? What's going on? You're going to want to know what's the issue? Why am I not
Mhm.
doing good? And so some of us feel like we don't want to be burdens. We see ourselves as burdens on others when we might constantly be in that state of not being good.
But, that is very much so understandable,
Right.
and just to at least put out there how I operate, I'll have to say that if somebody actually tells me that they're not good and they just don't have if I know I don't have the time or space to really feel that, what I would say is, "I hope that things get better for you,"
Right.
and leave it right there because sometimes, because that sparks a conversation that could take up to 45 minutes to an hour, kinda like
Absolutely.
what happened to me this morning.
Mm.
Um, yeah, because 'cause I'm one of those people that people, open up to, and I have
Right.
great advice, and I have great words, and I'm a great listener. I am amazing at that, and, um if I ask questions, I know what I'm getting myself into. I know I'm getting
Right.
myself into a good long conversation. But if I know I don't have the time if I see that the person is not ready to let that go or put that out, what I actually do is just say, "Okay, well, now I understand that something's going on. I'll just, make sure to pray for you, think about you. But if you ever need to release any of that, just let me know."
Right.
And I let it go because sometimes you're in spaces where you just don't have the time or you just don't feel like it. You just don't want to drag your heart down to that space because you know you're about to cry or because
Mm.
rather than everything being deep down, it's like it's just right here hitting the surface and those feelings mm, will erupt. Regina says people in America say that because it's a normal response here.
Right.
That is so true. And you know what? That makes me think about the social media, the Instagram, the Facebooks and TikToks and things of that nature. What we do here in America is advertise the good and only the good.
And the surprising thing about that, this just came to my mind. As working at a call center, a lot of times what people, what CSRs will do is they'll ask their customer, "How are they doing?" I made it a point to never ask that question. And the reason why I didn't ask that question is because I didn't want the answer to be, well, my bill is this high, so I'm not doing good at all. Okay. I did
And
not want to open that door for the possibility of someone taking
to
taking the
really
conversation to the left. So,
or to take up more time than I need you to take. You know,
right.
it's like, "How you doing?" "Well, this is going on, this is going on," and it's like
Right. Asking a question that I truly don't care about with customers, that is.
and that's why it's, "How may I help you?" Leave that
Right,
there.
exactly.
Ooh.
That's the first question. How may I help you? Okay.
Tyrone says, "I say I'm good, to not put others in a bad mood. Transferring my energy to others is a flaw a friend pointed out to me."
Wow.
Mm. Okay, Tyrone. I hear that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
hear
we don't want to visit our problems on others. That's
absolutely.
that's that's true. And that energy does give off, does fall off on you.
And Tyrone also says, often my face doesn't say I'm in a good mood. So now I have to turn on the charm and bubbliness to let others know that I am in a good mood. Yeah. If y'all don't know, Tyrone McCullum is my husband. And being with him for a long time, I know when he's not in a good mood. He,
Hmm.
he doesn't exactly do a whole lot of smiling and all that stuff when he is in a good mood, but there's certainly a difference when he's not good. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Let me ask you this, Jonathan. Do you think we should be more transparent? Like, there doesn't need to be we don't have to totally be transparent to the point we tell specifics of the issue.
Hmm.
But instead of fine, can we say, I'm working on some things? Or, like,
I
switch the vocabulary a little bit so it can say, "Hey, things ain't perfect, but, you know, I'm making it."
I think we should be willing to be more open with others. Maybe share a little bit more information than you would on the average day. Just so that we can all be open to one another. But at the same time, I understand why people are closed off and why people don't want others to know what their business is or what's going on in their personal lives. So to be honest, it's really like an individual thing. So yeah, it's like I don't know, because that, again, it can open the doors for some a little bit of negativity, and
Mhm.
you don't want that to kind of brush off on you. But at the same time, if you're in a position to where you can help someone with what it is that they're dealing with, then you're there, and you might have a solution for them. So it could go really either way. I think you just have to kind of gauge what the situation is and react accordingly.
Absolutely. Let's see. I have another oh gosh. Tyrone says, "I'm the hubby." Alright. Um, but yes, that's something that we like to do. Now, one thing that I will have to say is that I really want to encourage people to find that person that you are okay with having that conversation with.
Right.
Because when we stop talking, we start the process of feeling all alone because we don't have any, or we feel we don't have anybody to share these things with. So if you don't have anybody to release with, I hope you find that person soon. Or maybe you can talk to God, but you need to say it out loud
Right.
because we don't want you to be punching the air, being upset, wishing that
Right.
you could take care of the issue, because most of the issues that really plague people, the issues that really bring people down, are the issues that you can't take care of by yourself.
Right. Yeah, you have to put it out into the atmosphere, as we would typically say in church. You have to put it out there. You have to speak it. Just like whenever you pray, if you want something from God, you have to tell him. You have to ask him. Of course, yes, the Lord knows what you want. He knows your needs. He knows what you want, but he's not going to act on it unless you ask him for said thing. And so you have to put those things out into the atmosphere so that if there's someone in the space who can help you with that, they can go ahead and do that.
And it actually says in the word to make your request be known.
Right.
So open your mouth and let him know the woes that you have. Whether you're speaking to God or whether you're speaking to that friend, finally,
Right.
it needs to be released. No matter how simple it may be, or no matter how many other things are going on in the world. It's like, I'm going through all this, but people are going through worse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But your issues, your hurt, your concerns, your nervousness, your fears, all of that matters.
Right.
And
And
it needs to
it's
be they need to be addressed.
and it's always ironic that it's always those who look to be the strongest, who are actually not okay. And that's
Yeah.
and that's the biggest shock of all. But we all know that to be absolutely true.
Because of the maintaining of a look,
Right.
somewhat a mask, saying that I'm fine, I'm always fine. But when we get home, or when there's an issue, or when you get to like when you get to your house and you're by yourself, those
Hmm.
same friends that you've been strong for all this time don't even see that there's an issue,
Right.
because you're always saying that you're fine, you're all right, and they believe it because they think you're so strong. So no one's
Exactly.
going to dig in on the issue. No one's going to continue to ask, "Are you okay? What can we do? Can we just at least talk?" There's no pressing of the issue because you've been putting on your front for all this time.
Right. And that's why
So
those memes of check on those who seem the strongest, who seem
absolutely.
like they have it all together, check on them because a lot of times they need those checkups the most, or even more, than those of us who are open and who are vulnerable with our feelings and who are just straight up with what we're going through.
Absolutely. And I think just the best thing is just to have that conversation. If we're not able to take a little bit of time, scale things back, and just sit down and talk, I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Right. Right. And it starts with having those people who you can open up to. We're not saying that you absolutely have to open up fully, tell your whole life story to a stranger. But when the next time someone asks you that question, just think of answering it truthfully. And maybe we'll all get to a better place if we all decide to do that.
Like, say, you're on the brink of eviction. You know, it's nothing wrong with talking about it, especially, you can come to somebody and say, "Look, I'm not trying to get any money, but I'm just going through this at the moment. That's what's bringing me down, and I can't stand that I'm in this space, but this is what's going on with me, and
Right.
I'm just out here trying to make it and make sure that I get out of that space." And
Right.
releasing those things from yourself is such a great thing. This was what makes me think about, like, all of those relationships that we see online. So many relationships that we see. Of course, all that we are privy is to the great moments, the times where they're happy, and then out of nowhere, it seems like, "Yeah, we're getting a divorce," or "We're breaking up," or "I just can't do it anymore." Because the only thing that anybody shows are the times that they're happy, they're good. The negativity, like, in every relationship, there's always ups and downs and different. different things that you go through.
Right.
I wish people would show more of the downs, not in the midst
Mhm.
of the downs though.
Right.
Show it after you've made it through that space, so you come to people that with an issue,
Mhm.
and then you have your solution as well. Because
Right.
you can't do that to people. You can't come to say, "Well, he cheated on me," and we just sit here and look at each other and be upset.
Right.
No, come to us with a solution, but that also paints more of a realistic picture of what a relationship is if you choose to have your relationship online and things of that nature. Regina says sometimes pride and shame stop people from saying how they really are doing. That
That
is
pride that
so.
pride will trip you up every single time, and that's typically the reasons why I won't be truthful with someone if I'm not having a good day and they ask me how I'm doing and I lie about it. It's that pride because, of course, again, most of us, I will say, will want to be seen in the best light. And if someone asks you how you doing and you say I'm not okay, you're going to think of how that's going to look on you. How are they going to see me when I tell them that I'm not okay? How are they going to see me? Are they going to see me as weak? We don't want to be seen as weak. We don't want to be seen as less than. We don't want to show any signs of weakness whatsoever. And that's typically in the African American community what our issue is. We don't want to be seen as
Mhm.
weak.
And you know what? That really has me thinking like I might be special, weird, or whatever, but when it comes to how I'm being seen, I don't know. I I try myself to give out everything that I am. I try to expose all that I am to show other people that being a human is can be a shared experience,
Right.
and if we share experiences, if we understand each other a little bit more, we can have even deeper relationships. If the only thing you know about me is that I am silly, we like to have a laugh every once in a while, and I like playing The Sims. Okay, it's like that's some real surface stuff. For me, it really takes a lot for me not okay, it doesn't take a lot for me not to share. But if I feel comfortable, I will share most stuff. Um,
Right.
things that's going on now. As far as like financial woes or things with the hubby, to be honest, like things that go on in my relationship, that's stuff that stays in my relationship. And that's certainly a conversation
Hmm.
that we can have because for some reason people feel like everybody needs to know the issues that's going on within their relationships. And of course, that's a whole nother topic. A whole nother topic. But
Right. But I think that might be because people don't want to feel like they're the only ones in the situation that they're in.
true. But and I know and I understand the need to make sure I'm not going crazy with this because he did this, that, and the third.
Right.
Um, and that's a good thing to say that out loud too. You're right.
Yeah.
I think I'm talking about married folk
Okay. Okay. Okay.
because if you're dating, it's really helpful to get that kind of stuff. But if you guys are married,
And
y'all
you haven't gotten it figured out just yet? Child, y'all shouldn't be married yet. Y'all wasn't ready.
okay. And the issues that come up with most married folks are issues that need to stay in, and y'all need to really take care of that, or we need to get a counselor because
Right.
the issue with going to everybody else about the issues with who you're with, a lot of
Non-professionals, that is.
non-professionals, a lot of times you are really painting a picture of negativity, and when you have those happy days, you never talk about it, and
Right.
when you come around, they have a scowl on their face because all I know is the negativity that you've brought to my child or my friend, my sister, my brother. So, yeah, um, I believe that transparency certainly is a great way to move. Um, it doesn't have to be with everybody,
Right.
but if you're able to say that things aren't going well, one great thing about that is that it shows that you're able to tap into what's actually going on inside here,
Mhm.
because I can actually say that there has been a time when I was in a depressed state and did not know that I was until I came out of it.
Wow.
So, being self-aware is so important. Being, being aware of what's going on within yourself so that you can understand why you're acting the way you're acting or why you're choosing to move the way you move at the moment. That's very important
Right.
because I always say if you can't handle what's going on within yourself,
Hmm.
how are you going to be all the other things that you are outside of yourself? How are you going to be that great coworker? How are you going to be a great mother, wife or husband or father? How are you going to be that great friend because you're not even able to look at yourself and see whatever issues are going on and at the very least, if not solve it, but acknowledge it.
Right. That's what we have to get into the habit of doing, acknowledging our feelings, acknowledging things just in general, just acknowledge it. Just for your brain to have the knowledge of it. Because when we don't acknowledge things, we tend to sweep them under the rug or we skim past them like they don't exist. And sometimes when we do that, we actually act as if those things don't exist and we don't address them. So that's why we have to acknowledge things, because when we acknowledge things, we're on the mindset to address those things so that we can get better.
Yes, the power of acknowledgement. The thing that I love about acknowledgement is that it does not require a resolution.
Right.
Saying that it's there, it really just opens a door
Right.
and you can start to open your mind to things. You don't have to resolve the issue right then and there, but acknowledging that the issue is right in front of you, saying it out loud, getting it out so that at least some of the built up tension in your body releases.
Right.
Saying that I don't feel like doing this video today. This is what I said before I got on here. I said I don't feel like it, but I said I'm gonna do it and we're gonna do it. That helped me get to where I need to be to move forward into doing it. And Joseph Jarrell said, "Hey, hey, I'll be a muted version of me because I don't know what we're talking about yet." Thank you, Joseph. You're so sweet. And Joseph also says, "Ooh, this is a good one. I'll sit here and learn on tonight." That's sweet of you, Joseph. Thank you. But yes, that's actually one of those things that I really worked on with Joseph. I'm sorry, Joseph, I'm always telling your business. But we worked together on making sure that he's acknowledging when he does feel overwhelmed,
Hmm.
when he is tired. Because there used to be times where he's like, I don't know what's going on with me, I just can't move, or I feel a way, I just don't know exactly how I feel or why I'm feeling, just
Right.
what's going on. And I would say, well, let's talk about it. How, what's been going on?
Yeah.
Joseph said, "Now I'm leaving." Jesus, lamb, I didn't even do nothing. No, you just set an example, Joseph. Stop. It's nothing bad, but we work together on figuring out how he feels.
Right.
And the great thing about that, it even taught me to make sure that I'm tapping into those things as often as possible so that I won't be in a state of confusion or a state of anger and not truly know where it stems from.
Right.
So connecting the dots, getting to the root of what's going on, it really like being able to give an answer to why you feeling the way you feel at the moment
Hmm.
is everything. If I can say the reason why I didn't feel like doing the this video today um, is because I was on a long drive yesterday
Right.
and now I'm really sleepy and I just don't feel like doing much. And it's like I know that I needed to do this. I wanted to do this because I missed doing this on yesterday. So I decided to push forward and fulfill my promise to myself and, basically hold accountability with Jonathan because I
Right.
told him that we're going to do it. But saying that out loud is not a bad thing. It's just being real about what's going on in the moment.
And sometimes when you acknowledge those things, it makes dealing with them slightly easier, because you know what's going on. And then once you acknowledge them, then you get into the process of trying to figure out how to fix that thing. And so once again, if you're not acknowledging it, then you're not addressing it, then it just lingers, and you don't want bad things to linger like that.
Okay. Um that is so true. And I have to add to the title of this thing, the power of acknowledgement.
Right.
Um I feel like it's really such a simple move. You don't have to do much. Just acknowledge that it's there. Um if anybody's in the chat that wants to speak on that, like let me know how you feel about that. Like when you can freely acknowledge how you feel in a moment, in a space, like what does that do for you? For me, it pinpoints my feelings so I won't be confused as to why I feel the way I feel because I do end up starting to question myself after I'm in a
Mhm.
space in a funk for a while. It's like, what is going on with me? So being able to acknowledge that takes it to another space for me of clarity. So I could be like, okay, so this is what's going on. Okay, so as soon as I go to sleep, huh?
Right.
Problem solved. So
Okay.
so that's what acknowledgement does for me. Um, Joseph says, articulating your awesomeness is powerfully addictive once you harness its essence. I can't stand him. But yes, it's so true.
It's so true.
It's so true. So I want to I think we need to be done in 32 minutes.
Yeah.
Surprised we made it this far. Once again, I'm sleepy. Anywho, Jonathan, do you have anything else to say about "I'm all right, I'm fine" or acknowledgement, anything like that, Jonathan?
The next time someone asks you that question, think twice about being truthful about your answer, and try to delegate what information you want to share with that person, and decide that based on who they are. And if that person is a close friend or someone, you can tell them whatever it is that you need to tell them. But if they're just a stranger, you might can say, "I could be better, but I'm happy to be alive."
Okay, that's a great way to say it. If you don't feel all that great, the best thing to do is say, "Hey, things ain't perfect, but put a positive spin on it." But I'm
Right.
made it to work on time. Some
Okay.
um Tyrone says, it makes me feel like I have a voice and it is, oh gosh, and it is received in addition to being heard.
I like that.
Acknowledging. Wow. Okay. Another thing. Joseph said, poor based on your poor based on your ability to assess their capacity.
Hmm.
Big cups are full of crap sometimes too. That is so true. So to turn what Joseph said into English, basically saying, if you want to release your true feelings on somebody, make sure it's somebody that's ready to not only listen, but hopefully give you some encouragement in that space so that, you can walk away released of what the issue is, got down to the bottom of it, and possibly have some really great advice and or just some encouragement to push forward and continue to go. Regina says, right, Jonathan. All right. And my last little thing, oh wait, hold on. Joseph says, that was English, ma'am. Yes, it was, Joseph. Anywho, um, I'll say this, that I'm all right, I'm fine. I can only hope that we can all start to really walk in a space where we're being truthful with exactly how we're feeling and
Hmm.
acknowledge those things. And as we
Right.
continue to get to the bottom of it, even if the very bottom of the true feeling may be some trauma that you might have had,
Hmm.
or yeah, any kind of trauma that you might have had, any disappointments, anything that made you angry, any fights you might have had, even if those are the things, to be able to acknowledge that that's where that comes from, that is certainly a beginning. That is a start for your freedom. Another way to really release and truly walk in who you are, because those things that have truly affected you, those traumas, those bad things, some of those good things, they don't make you who you are, but they certainly shape who you've become.
Mm.
They lean your perspective one way or the other. They change your answers to some questions from other people that have never been in a trauma filled situation before. And you can always use that for good.
Right.
So continue to acknowledge where you are. That's also like really grounding. Acknowledge where you are in your shando of shandos, your spirit,
Yes.
all up in here, this region right here,
Right.
so that you can be more grounded. You don't have to share everything with everybody, but it is good to find that person, if not God, to give it all to. Because no matter how you're feeling, you need to release. Even if you're happy, you need to release it. You need to tell somebody, release and acknowledge those things that are within you. Joseph said, okay, so exercise time, Jennifer. How are you feeling now that you have fulfilled your promise to yourself? Thank you, Joseph, for asking that question. I feel I'm really happy that I did it. I love these kind of conversations. I love having this platform. I love having these kind of conversations with Jonathan. This is my kind of thing. And I really want to get the words out, basically reminding people that for us to all individually live better lives, we need to start right here
Right.
in this region.
Yes, sir.
All right. Joseph also says, Jonathan, how are you feeling at the end of this podcast?
I'm actually feeling really, really good. This a lot of times with videos, I don't expect that much out of them, and I always end up being surprised at how good the videos
Every time.
turn out to be. Every single time, it never, ever, ever, ever fails. When we went into that rap battle last week, I was dreading that thing, and I ended up participating and ended up getting a good laugh out of it. So, I need to get used to that feeling and go into these situations or more situations in a better space, not expecting the worst, but expecting something great.
Because you never know.
You never know.
And I want you to know, Jonathan, that part of the reason why it is a success, part of the reason why it does turn around is because of you, because you're in the space. So remember, you're helping to create a great space.
I received that. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
No problem. I live to uplift. That's another thing about Jennifer. All right. Regina laughed at that, Jonathan. Thank you for the questions, everybody. I'm going to give the few church announcements and we'll get on out of your hair. I have a Caesar salad from Publix I need to indulge in.
Okay.
Um, this Tyrone said, "This is awesome. Y'all are awesome."
Thank you, Taryn.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Let's just give our information. Jonathan, where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo underscore 3020. My TikTok is JoJo underscore 3020 underscore. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. Just find me on there. You can email me, williamjonathanlee at gmail.com. I also have my own YouTube channel. The name of the YouTube channel is JoJo Speaks. Just type that into the search bar. My YouTube channel should pop right on up. I post videos every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. with hot topics and social commentary with my co-host Jennifer over here, as well as my brother-in-law Tyrone and our friend Mike. And so, if you want to hear us discussing the latest happenings and goings on in the world, be sure to check out JoJo Speaks on YouTube at 9:30 p.m. Subscribe and share, you guys.
Absolutely. And for myself, of course, I am the Light of the Leo. You'll find me on Instagram and TikTok at the Light of the Leo, and on YouTube. I am streaming not only on YouTube but also on Facebook. The Light of the Leo. That's where I'm at. To have more conversations like this. And if you have any questions, any concerns, anything that you want to talk to me, hit me in my DMs on Instagram at the Light of the Leo, and we can have a good conversation. And try to boost ourselves up, because that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to live happy lives and
Right.
be good people to each other. And it's difficult to be good to each other when we have a lot of stuff weighing ourselves down. So
Right.
we got to get ourselves together. Another space where you can see us will be at the Juice Radio and Talk Show. She's actually in the YouTube comments right now, Miss Regina. We love you. We go live every Thursday on at 7:30. Lord, that was a brain fart. At 7:30 every Thursday, the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Go ahead, subscribe on YouTube, and you have to type out the Juice Radio and Talk Show if you want to get the right one with that red mug. So that's what you do there. And lastly, it's not off. Well, yeah. Faithful Warrior Ministries prayer. Faithful Warrior Ministries prayer / podcast on Saturday mornings at 10-ish a.m. We come together every Saturday, come traveling, no matter what we're doing. We are praying every Saturday at 10-ish a.m. Child, when we were in Florida, I totally forgot that we even did it. And we were, I forgot about it. Like, oh, today's Saturday, Lord have mercy. But we certainly, that was a long prayer too. I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, we continue to do these prayers to just remind ourselves that a prayer is necessary, and the great benefits of prayer. And of course, we encourage each other in the Lord, and put the Bible to life, as well as do a great devotional. It's really a great time. We laugh a lot because I'm sleepy in the morning, so I get
Right.
chatty and I get a little funny. All right. So you can find us on YouTube and Facebook. Just type in Faithful Warrior Ministries and you'll find me, Jonathan. You'll see us pop up automatically. And also, if you like to hear in podcast form, those same prayers that we have on YouTube, they're certainly on the podcast. Anywhere that you see podcasts or whatever, just type in Faithful Warrior Ministries. You'll see praying hands. That'll be us. All right, that's enough church announcements. And apparently, as the church announcements went forward, people felt as if they needed to do a whole lot of comments. So here we go. Joseph said, "So you are apostle." I'm saying that to Tyrone. And Tyrone says, "Takes one to know one, apostle." Joseph said, "Stick your eyes back in your head, sir." Tyrone says, "I see you, sir." Jesus. Joseph says, "No, you don't." Tyrone laughs. Joseph laughs. Tyrone put in Regina, the Juice Radio and Talk, so she sees you too, Joseph. And he laughed at himself. And Joseph also says, "Don't try to get reinforcements. Stand on your own trying to locate me." And Joseph said, "I can't be found." Okay. Um, I really enjoy all of your engagement. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Just remember, try your best to be your authentic self. Now, not everybody deserves all that, but let your friends and family have that. Um, everyone have a blessed evening. I love you guys, and let's just continue to grow together. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
I'm leaving. I'm getting off.
We're leaving.